Hello, this is Dr. Price from Dorchester Paws. I just wanted to do a little video on bottle feeding. This little baby was rejected by the mom, and you can see here our foster coordinator, Molly, is giving a little bit of Caro syrup on the tongue. They don't have the ability to regulate their sugar, so they can become hypoglycemic. In order to prevent that, we often give them a little bit of a sugar source in the form of Caro syrup right there on the tongue. The first thing you want to do when you think about feeding a baby is make sure they're warm. You cannot feed a cold baby, so their temperature has to be approximately 100 degrees, which is what the mom's temperature would be. So if it's rice socks, if it's a heating pad, if it's a gentle blowing air on a low setting. Now, this is a formula and is species specific. You want to use dog for dog and kitty for kitty. You mix the formula 2 to 1. And you want to use warm water that's about a little bit more than lukewarm. Think about that 100 degrees that the mom is, and you want it to be pretty close to that. It needs to be fresh and nice and smooth. And you can see here Molly's mixing it. And you've got that baby warmed up. You've got the formula warmed up. You've made sure that there's a little dot of Caro syrup on the tongue every hour or so, and especially if the baby seems weak. And then you can see that she's mixing this nice and smooth, and she's making it fresh every time. And then we also want to have a couple different nipples, because depending on the size of the pet and what they prefer, they might grow into a larger nipple, but that's a kit that has several options. The nipples do not come with a hole, so you can use scissors to establish a hole in the nipple and make sure that there's a way for that formula to flow out. And you can see me cutting right there and making sure that there's a small hole in the end of that nipple. And then the whole time, am keeping the baby warm with rice socks, with a heating pad. Make sure that they're not getting too hot, or that they can move away from the heating pad if they need to, but they need to stay as close to 100 as possible. Here I'm presenting the nipple to the baby, and the baby's given an opportunity to latch onto the nipple and hopefully nurse. There are formulas for how much to feed a baby. You can overfeed them and you can underfeed them. So there's charts based on the weight of the animal and how many meals that would equate to. And I reference the Humane Society for a good guide on that. But this baby is being given an opportunity to eat. And then, because this one is little and is a runt and has been rejected by the mom, I'm probably going to feed more often. Instead of the regular 3 to 4 hours for a baby this size, like 10 days old, I probably do it every hour or so and a smaller meal, just to support this baby, because this baby is fragile and probably just needs more frequent feedings and smaller feedings. So you can see the baby's eating. I do not want the formula to come out of the nose. I don't want them to cough it up. So I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen and stop the process if it does. You can see that the baby is swallowing. Ideally, you want them to have a nice positive latch. You definitely want to weigh the babies every day, and they should gain like half an ounce every 2 days, literally. And there shouldn't be a huge difference between the different ones if you have more than one. They cannot urinate or defecate on their own. The tongue of the mother stimulates them, and what I'm doing is approximating that with a warm cotton ball. I'm just rubbing that over the perineal area and encouraging them to eliminate because they haven't developed enough to push that out on their own, and they need help with that.